Resident Evil Death Island has officially released everywhere at this point, bringing Jill Valentine back into the spotlight. Jill hasn't officially appeared in the canon timeline since all the way back in Resident Evil 5 when she was being controlled and suffering at the hands of Wesker. Noticeably, the whole procedure made her skin paler and bleached her hair. In the timeline of Resident Evil, these events occurred from 2006 to 2009 when Resident Evil 5 happened. From then until the events of the Death Island movie, Jill was recuperating in a BSAA facility, pretty much maintaining her former appearance from the Raccoon City incident in 1998. So why exactly does she look pretty much the same in Death Island when that takes place 17 years after Raccoon City, especially when other characters like Chris and Leon have all visually aged after all this time? Let's start off with her hair. To me, it makes sense why she would dye her hair back to brown. Having to go around with it being blonde would be just another constant reminder of all the horrible things Jill was forced to do while under Weskers' control. Moreover, the brown hair is part of her iconic look in every piece of Capcom art. What do you guys think though? Do you prefer the blonde? And would you have liked to see her return with a longer hair like in some concept art? So moving on to her physical appearance, it goes a bit deeper. Remember in Resident Evil 3 when Jill was unconscious after a fight with Nemesis and we had to play as Carlos? During that time, Jill was infected with the T-virus while Carlos managed to make a vaccine and cure Jill. This didn't fully excise the virus from her. Under her imprisonment by Wesker discovered that the vaccinations he received in 1998 for her T-virus infection had not totally immunized her. A mutant strain of the virus had laid dormant in her body for the past 8 years and had activated during her time in a coma after saving Chris. Her body quickly fought off the mutant virus and created new antibodies. Wesker then used her body as sort of a living factory in order to make his new Ouroboros virus stronger by constantly injecting her with the T-virus. After being rescued by Chris and Sheva during the events of Resident Evil 5 and returning from Africa, Jill was taken into a BSAA lab to undergo various tests due to her long-time virus exposure. The tests revealed that the T-virus cells had remained in her body and affected her body's cell division, which suppressed her physical deterioration, or in simpler terms, her aging was slowed down. More importantly, in a recent interview with Makoto Fukami, the head writer for Resident Evil Death Island, when asked about why Jill doesn't seem to be aging, he stated this: "It is in fact true that it's a setup for Jill. She's gotten infected by the virus twice or 3 times, I think, so she is indeed the one that is not aging. It's an official setup by Capcom actually." So what's happening here? It seems that Capcom mandated that Jill maintain her look in the movie because they plan to use her in a future game. And it's much more believable to have your character perform a bunch of acrobatics when their body isn't physically pushing 50. Jill may once again become the face of Resident Evil. Claire and Rebecca also seem to have not aged, but according to Fukami, that was more of an afterthought. I mean, Claire even de-aged, as she looks like this in Revelations 2, which takes place 4 years before Death Island. Claire and Rebecca have also been infected with viruses as well, but Jill was clearly the main focus here. It creates an interesting dynamic though. While I am happy that we're finally getting more Jill, as she's one of my favorite characters in the entire series, I'm just wondering here if she's gonna stay young forever. Does Capcom think that fans won't like their female leads if they age up, just like the males? I know I sure would love to see the design of an older Jill, and it's not like you still can't be a badass while being a little bit older. The boss from Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of my favorite female characters in all of gaming, and you literally see the age and a life filled with battle in her face. In my opinion, that doesn't take away from the character, it only adds to it. Just like how we see the fight against bioterrorism has taken its toll on both Chris and Leon. What do you prefer though? Do you like it that Jill is keeping her old appearance, or would you rather see her age up like the rest of the cast? If you're new and enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. For my returning subs, as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.